There's a lot of Zillas out there, guys. And we do want to talk about, there's a different kind of Zilla that we do want to bring up to you guys now that we've addressed this Brian Rose thing. Which is, I don't know if you've heard about Alexei Navalny Zilla. Have you guys heard about this guy?
This is a big. I heard he's got some big hitters on YouTube in Russia, though.
Yeah. Alexei Navalny Zilla is his name, and he's kind of blown up recently. I wanted to tell this guy's story because honestly, he hasn't been given enough credit. This man is ripping.
Yeah.
Ripping and dipping. By the way, is that 109 million views on this video? What could he possibly say? Oh my gosh. Is there English subtitles on this?
Oh, let's do that.
This has 109 million views?
Yeah. Well, think about population.
Well, let's not talk about that yet. Let's actually explain real quick. Okay, so in Russia right now, there's this giant scandal brewing. There's political opposition, and the leader of it is Alexei Navalny. Now, you guys may have heard of when Alexei was assassinated, and it was a failed assassination, on a plane ride, Amish. He was on a plane. He got basically nerve gassed, not gassed. He got like some nerve agent or assassinated by the KGB. But this is the guy, Alexei Navalny, Zilla.
Yeah.
But he survives, Amish. So he's flying in the air, right? They realize something's wrong. He's screaming in pain. They land the plane, emergency land, and they give him some medicine that basically stops this nerve agent, whatever it is, from killing him. So he wakes up, can't move. He's in a coma for like a month, can't move. He wakes up, realizes Putin's not only now my political opposition, he also tried to kill me with the KGB, or allegedly, according to him. Realizes that. What does he do, Amish? Does he sit in wherever he was at the time? Does he sit and hide? No. Mr. Alexei Zilla goes back to the belly of the beast. Okay. There's levels of commitment, and there's big balls, and then there's Alexei Navalny. This man goes back into Putin's lair, the place where he controls, and immediately is arrested.
Yeah.
So he goes back, immediately arrested again, but the man believes so much in the Russian people that he just doesn't care.
He's tight.
He just goes in, immediately arrested, right?
He's ripping.
While he does that, Amish,
yeah,
this man has secretly plotted a Zilla. He made an expose video about Putin's secret level of wealth. I want you guys to know this because people don't know what's going on right now. Yeah. This is big news, seriously.
Yeah.
So he drops this investigation into Vladimir Putin, but he says he didn't want to do it while he was sick and away from Russia. He said, I wanted to wait till I was looking Putin in the eye. Check this out.
Wow.
This is so badass.
Еще когда я находился в реанимации, но сразу договорились
Thought of this when I was in intensive care. We decided to publish after I returned to Russia.
В Россию, в Москву, потому что мы не хотим, чтобы главный герой этого фильма думал о том, что мы его боимся, и что я буду рассказывать о его самом страшном секрете.
By the way, of course, I should say, Putin denies trying to kill Alexei. They go, yeah, we feel really bad about it.
Находясь за границей.
Navalny released an investigation into Putin's wealth.
Yeah.
Basically, Putin's always been claiming, by the way, some backstory. Putin's been claiming that he only makes like a few $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
The equivalent of a few $100,000 a year. Meanwhile, everyone's saying, no, actually, Putin may be the richest man in the entire world, just with a bunch of dark money, including a $1 billion euro palace on the Black Sea allegedly built for the Russian president. Check it out. Look at this.
Beautiful. Great house.
Самый секретный и охраняемый объект в России без преувеличения. Это не загородный дом, не дача, не резиденция. Это целый город, а скорее королевство.
Who has the balls to do this?
Guys, aren't you so happy that you beef with Kristani?
I know this makes me very happy. I'm beefing with like swag. I mean, the beef's over, but like swag. It's just swag. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, what are they gonna do?
I mean, this is a lot. This
is too much. This is like you're dealing with people at a level that I would feel deeply like. Yeah, you can't. You're not even safe. Your family's not
God
safe.
is great. You got to say God is great for America, baby. You were born over here. It's
born
so
over
great.
here, beefing with like D-listers who are like scamming people. Yeah, that's fine. That's my level. I'm a D-list scam exposer. I can't expose Putin. I mean, it's too much. Honestly, it's too much.
It'll keep rising up.
That's pounds, not euros, mate. Sorry, guys. I'm an uneducated American. I apologize.
It's fine. But even in America, like you go after some politician, what are they? They're not dictators, right? Like the reason why this guy's a Coffeezilla is because dictatorship is the championship ring of a scam leader, a cult leader. The cult, like the biggest cult is a dictatorship. And if you look at how they're operated and how they teach everything, it's just all the cult training. They just do it on a national level. So this guy's a cult. This guy's calling him out, and he's just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna murder you now." And on that plane,
I already tried. Well, listen, you failed. You're delivering yourself back to me. I'm sure to Putin, he's like, "Why did you come back?"
Yeah, dude,
he
Putin
just believes. He believes in so much in his mission. That's what's cool about him.
He's a very cool character, and HBO is going to do an incredible, like, award-winning movie about this guy, a series probably. And there's going to be a point where Putin is like. They're like, someone's going to tell Putin, is like, video has uploaded. And Putin's like, where is he? In Russia. And he goes, what?
Yeah, dude, we got some Russian assets in our, hey, I feel like Jimmy Kimmel. We got some Russian disinformants in our chat. They go, CIA asset Navalny, this is stupid. If they wanted him gone, they would shoot him in the head. No, that's too obvious. You always give some weird nerve agent so you can have plausible deniability. If he gets shot in the back of the head, it's clearly an assassination. There's no plausible deniability there. If he dies and the nerve agent just vanishes from his system in a short amount of time because its half-life is really short, well, maybe he was killed. Maybe he died of natural causes, right? So it's like that's ridiculous.
It's very James Bond.
Han Solo, it's fake, guys. The palace doesn't belong to Putin. No, dude.
Wow.
You didn't read. So first of all, Russian disinformants. Can someone call Jimmy to help us out here?
Russiagate. We got Russiagate informants in the audience. Wow. No, I was listening to Alexei's podcast, the technology podcast, Alexei Friedman. He was saying, he had a good explanation. He was saying that in Russia, they've seen so much chaos that a lot of people just like a strong man, which is, I don't know, that was his opinion. And it makes, kind of makes sense.
So if you read this is palace.navalny.com. This is the whole investigation, right, that everyone's been quoting.
Dude,
it basically documents where the stuff is. The guy's idea is that Putin basically doesn't hold any of the wealth himself. He has everyone else around him hold it kind of for him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like everybody it's like sort of Putin's club that owns it. Everything illegally required, donated, and stolen for the Putin's gang is safe here, and from here they pay.
Yeah. Well, the branding's great because he actually put out this thing with branding and graphics made. And the branding and graphics is basically showing like this guy's an oligarch. He's pimped you. He's like, he owns your country. And these are the ways that all of your money basically goes to him. And it's a huge expose. He's basically showing the people of Russia, like you think it's just a strong man and you think he's just not allowing elections, but really like he's a dictator. He takes all your money and on some level you're enslaved to him.
Dude, are we actually seeing actual Russian bots right now? This is really funny. Yeah, let me pull it up.
Russiagate.
Let me pull it up.
So people are so now people are getting mad at us. Let me look at this now. Yeah, I took it off when I froze during the first half.
Let's see. Han Solo works for Putin. Yeah, the most dangerous nerve agent. The guy survives without any problems. What are you talking about? No problems. He went into a coma. They had to induce him into a coma.
Yeah, come on, dude.
What are you talking about?
Okay, this guy says, not red alert. The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends. Okay, that was a response to something else.
What if CIA or China poisoned the guy to have Putin incriminated? Without Putin, there's no one that seems to be able to take over. Speculator.
Okay,
here.
that's interesting.
He's just asking questions. But the poison agent was found out, so obviously the half-life is not that short. If it killed him, it would be detected, so a kill with a weapon would be easier.
Yeah, interesting theories. Have you guys ever played the game Mercenaries? You ever played Mercenaries, dude?
Didn't expect to find pro-Putin propaganda here. Dude, you'll find it in the most unexpected places. I was in a Discord chat the other day. The guy's like, yeah, my family works for FSB, and I hate Navalny, and he's a scumbag. Listen, to be clear, we're just looking at things, right? We're looking into things. We're not making.
Look, man, it happens, okay? It's complicated. World politics is complicated. You have his back. This guy has an opinion, you have another opinion, and this is why the culture needs to see it and talk about it.
CIA is trying to. Nigel says CIA is trying to destabilize Russia. There's proof of people paying protesters. Putin in chat. Yo, this is wild.
Okay. Hey, I don't know. Even with China, man, people in China, you think that Chinese government is hard on their people. A lot of people from China are just like, hey, it's an economic miracle, baby. It's an economic miracle, and we're coming up in the game, and that's it. Don't talk about.
Is anyone actually from Russia here? If you're actually from Russia, tell us what you think. What do you think of this whole situation?
Yeah, I mean, I can see people being on his side. It's politics.
It's not complicated. He's a literal dictator. I
know.
I see it that way. That's how I see it.
I agree. But Lexi Friedman on his podcast was saying that's how we see it from the outside. We haven't been inside Russia. We don't know.
I don't think Lex Friedman is he pro Putin?
He basically says the reason why people are,
or is he like saying there's like a Stockholm syndrome?
He's not calling it a Stockholm syndrome. He's saying that Russia, there's so many people in Russia that are pro Putin, despite him being a dictator, because their whole justification is, I've seen the chaos that can occur here. So in order to hold that chaos back, you need a strong man like Putin who can also have like the goodness of Russia in his heart. This is what kind of people say about Trump too, where like you need an aggressive guy like that. Like they look at all of Trump's stuff that he did wrong, all of Putin's stuff is like, yeah, that's our guy. He's our strong guy in charge, and that's who we need in charge because they're the only ones who can get it done. It is a bit of a gaslight, I'd say, though, because they could be living much better than this. They should not be a dictatorship.
What if China's backing Russian opposition leader to destabilize Russia and grab some land? Listen, you guys should just be allowed. Russia should just be allowed options. That's all I'm saying. Let's get in. Ed, huh? Maybe we should get an Ed. Let's talk about Ed,
sorry, guys.
my Ukrainian designer. You know Russian, right?
Yeah, I do. So here's the situation. I'm not from Russia, luckily. So that's pretty great. But I am from, like, Ukraine is right next to Russia, and we basically all also speak Russian here. So most of my life, up until the point I kind of learned English better, most media, like movies you consume, and even sometimes news, are Russian. And kind of like 2 years ago, I tried to cut down Russian media that I consume, and YouTuber stuff like that. So I know they also try to like influence politics here in Ukraine a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I know the tactic. Like whenever like a bunch of people in your chat, like you know, talk about this whole Navalny situation, like I know how the Russian like government thinks and works and operates. Like for example, whenever they. I'm not really up to date on all of the very recent stuff, but the way how someone wrote that they pay protesters, like that protests are not real, it's kind of a very common tactic in Russia, and what Russia does in other countries when there is an opposition or like a real protest. They will spread like misinformation for everyone who's like on this on the center of the issue, you know, not involved, to think that this is actually not a real protest.
Right. So they want to delegitimize what's going on and basically say, there's no problem.
Yeah, there is no problem. It's not the real. It's actually paid by. It's funny how. Americans, because it's very funny how Americans blame, like Democrats like to blame something on Russia, because in Russia they blame a lot of things with their life still on America.
Yeah, classic.
It's very
playbook.
Weird.
Yeah, it's not your government's problem. It's the other government interfering with you that is the reason your life is bad.
Even when
in
it's
India, they're doing
unrelated.
that with the Muslims a lot.
And Navalny, this guy, he's like, it's not a nuisance. He's been in the opposition for years and years. I think like maybe more than 10 years, something like that. And he had a YouTube channel for a long time. I think like 5 or 6 years ago, he made another. Previously, even. or even further way ago, whatever. Like he made another documentary about the corruption of the prime minister of Russia, Dmitry, the other guy. I forget his last name. Basically, the guy who was the president for a while and then switched back places with Putin back. And there was this whole investigation and like a documentary about his whole corruption schemes. So he's been around for a while, and he's kind of the only real opposition in Russia, as far as I know.
What does it mean that they can just basically jail anybody with basically impunity? It seems like, because they're kind of getting away with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, everyone, the state in Russia is like everyone kind of knows that that it sucks, but everyone just kind of going along with it, and they have a strong propaganda system. So like I think like older people who consume more, it's all about the television versus internet thing. So on the internet, there are obviously a lot of like they have like a troll farm or whatever it's called.
Right.
They hire a bunch of people to basically confuse everyone on the internet and talk shit about the opposition, or just spread misinformation about how actually Navalny is a KGB agent or something, you know. But most like real people, like YouTubers that I watch, for example, they mostly, they like pretty anti-government, anti-Putin, and not necessarily in support of everyone specifically, but they don't like the absence of democracy there. So but they did like in the last like 5 years they started to restrict the freedom of speech there more and more. And pass new laws about how, and it's funny too, because they basically, there was this whole controversy about a right. They basically started to restrict freedom of speech by seemingly protecting religious freedoms. So like you can't say anything bad about Christianity or whatever now in Russia, and they use it to suppress political opposition too.
Yeah, there's always dark tactics, right, to limit speech. I mean, there's a million ways to do it. You can name it after anti-hate laws, anti-this, like it's always used by the government. Everything's always like the Teddy Bear Act, right? And then you find out it's used to send Patriot missiles to like Dubai. I mean, it's always under some beautiful name that sounds great that ends up being an absolute disaster.
But it's also,
do you think
they very much off now? Okay.
Do you think Putin actually is one of the richest men in the world based on what you've seen? Because obviously that's one of Navalny's accusations, is basically this guy has corruptly gathered all this wealth and pretends not to have any of it.
He has all of their country's billionaires in his pocket, like on a tight leash for him to do whatever. He controls basically. I don't know if he specifically. I don't know. Was Hitler like one of the richest people in the? It's hard to quantify, because technically he's not, but also if he wanted to, like sell everything somehow, he I don't know.
Well, doesn't
get it away from Russia and sell a bunch of assets. How would that even work, right? So how would you quantify that? I think he kind of is, but Russia is not that rich of a country. Their main export is like oil or whatever, and natural gas. So
the
minimum wage is like $200.
He sits on every board. He's on every board's like he's the CEO of every corporation, technically. Like legally, Xi Jinping owns everything. So if you calculate a dictator's wealth, you're going to get some high numbers. I mean, because then they could just be putting.
Is Xi a dictator? Is that what he technically is?
Xi Jinping? He did.
Who?
Putin was democratically elected, and so was Xi Jinping
I
was
didn't
elected
hear you
within
at
the
all.
Communist Party.
Xi Jinping
but
was.
they both.
Ed can't hear you. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, awkward
My
pause. I
internet.
didn't hear Amish, and
My
he's on the
internet is
delay on the
atrocious.
YouTube. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead, Amish. Go ahead. You're saying
I was just
about
gonna
Xi
say,
Jinping?
Xi Jinping got so basically Hitler and Putin both got elected, and then they became dictators after. They basically said we're not going to do any more elections. And Xi Jinping kind of did the same thing. He won within the party.
Amish freezes again, dude. Amish,
again,
we got to change off Roger's internet. Whoever else is available has to be better than this. Ed, thanks for coming on, sharing your perspective. I think we're gonna talk about something other than Putin.
Oh, I have a funny story about Russia and their control on
Sure.
the internet
Go
and
ahead.
stuff. So I know, or maybe it's just kind of interesting. It's not that funny, but so there is this situation. It was like 10 years ago or something like that on Russian YouTube, and many countries speak Russian more than just Russia. So it's kind of a lot of people watch Russian YouTube. Big thing, whatever. So there was and he is still out there. There's like comedian in Russia, and he used to be like an animator.
Mm-hmm.
And they had like a special service, like when YouTube wasn't that well monetized, I guess. They would transfer their people, their traffic to this other website where there are better ads or whatever. And so, weirdly enough, that cartoonist guy, like an animator with funny cartoons, started doing animations about Putin and his close political figures or whatever.
Oh,
And and no one's everyone thought this is like a satire, like free speech thing. He just makes a funny video about political people, whatever. It's funny. But it turned out that so the guy who was animating this, and it was pretty popular at the time, his manager or whatever was giving him money, and there was like more and more money for some reason for these cartoons, and he didn't know why did they give so much. There aren't much ads or whatever, where the sponsorships comes from.
right.
The guy who does the work doesn't know, and then it turns out that it was like a paid operation by some of the government agencies, not specifically because cartoons were not really in favor of the Russian political figures, but it was simply to normalize and humanize them, and they just spent a bunch of money.
So crack a few jokes. Don't make it too bad, but crack a few jokes about us.
Yeah,
Make
look how
us
relatable guy.
likable.
He's just a Putin. He's not a dictator. He's just a cool guy like you and me. Yeah.
Bring him on SNL. Yeah. This is like whenever they bring on politicians on SNL, and it's like you kind of make fun of them, but deep down this is a puff piece. Like this politician wants to be here, and a little bit teased because it makes them like your average Joe or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, pretty
so I
much.
feel like even in Russia,
it's
everyone's
like
just
that
super
Chinese
confused,
video.
and no one even can fully trust this Navalny guy, because you never know how many dimension the chess game has.
Right. Do you think that Navalny has anything to do with the CIA? Is that true?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I think it's kind of stupid.
Okay. Fair enough.
Navalny looks clean to me. He looks like righteous.
He looks
He
clean.
looks like he gets tortured, and he says, "Give me."
Nobody goes into the belly of the beast to get tortured. Really, it's torture, right?
Right.
In order to just because they're doing a job. Like, who would do that? Nobody would do that. You have to believe in your cause. So whether you agree with his cause or not, the man believes in something. Gotta admire that.
He's doing God's work.
Yeah,
man.
his
This is
politics
very
are pretty
important.
progressive too, as far as I heard.
Look, and to all the people in the audience that are saying they're on Putin's side, it's not even about Putin's side or not his side. Let the word get out. Let the guy do his journalism. Let there be opposition. Let there be a bit of a fight for who runs the country. You got one guy running the country for 40 years. And
let
then
someone
every time
else in.
someone
Exactly.
opposes,
Yes.
they die. I think the last 2 guys straight up died. Like I'm pretty sure Putin has killed guys that have come up against him. Same with Xi Jinping. People have died.
All these dictator guys have killed people. 100%.
Yeah. Kim does his own family too. That's
Yeah,
the
he
crazy
killed
thing.
like not that long ago. I think some like big business guy who was I just can't remember his name, but yeah, there was a story how Putin basically magically on some like bridge, all the surveillance cameras turned off, but one it probably malfunctioned or whatever,
No.
and the guy got shot in the back.
KGB baby.
And then they
What's his
made
name?
like
What's his name? Does anybody have his name?
Putin is KGB.
my
He knows
God,
how to pull off an operation.
maybe
He knows how to
like,
pull off an operation, Putin. That's why they
Russian
love
billionaire
Nigel
gets shot, something like
Cardosa,
that.
5 pounds. Freedom of speech is a myth. I do not know if you guys
Who
can
is
even
it?
hear me, but love you all. Bear with me on this internet, y'all.
Was
But,
this a
yeah,
month
that's
ago?
No, it's not a month ago. It's like oh my God, did another day? Oh, no.
Opposition
It was like
leader
a couple years
Nemtsov.
ago.
Dude, there's no more hazardous job than being a Russian opposition leader. Let me tell you that right now.
No way. No way.
There's nothing worse.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
it kind of reminds me of Jack Ma, too. Jack Ma's gone.
So
2
they
other
basically
corporations
found
gone.
some like you're talking about sham trials, you know. They found like a couple of like minority guys, like local Russian minorities, and like 2 or 3 dudes, and sentence them for life. And there is actually, I don't know if you ever heard of this in post-Soviet Union countries, they can actually like it's not technically legal, but this is what in Russia they do a lot, I guess. And it used to be the case in Ukraine too. They can like beat you to the point of you signing the police, I mean, signing whatever the fuck they want you to sign.
That's
So
brutal.
to the point of like admission of crime.
Mm-hmm.
So
In Russia,
they
you confess on yourself.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
that's
What
true.
a tough place, man.
There's my
It's
great
just always been
accent,
so,
guys.
this is so out of Russia, this story. And this guy, like Russia can create a guy this hard.
Right.
So yeah,
Because we wouldn't have to go to this level in America, Canada. Like, it's rough, man.
No, it is very sad. Hey, Ed, thank you so much for coming on the show. Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
Ed.
yeah. Thank you for
Appreciate
having me.
you.
Appreciate you. Bye.
Later, man.
Bye.
Love the artwork. Yo, Nigel
I wanted to
Cardosa,
bring him on real
5
quick to
pounds.
just to talk because he knows a lot about that stuff. But
Yeah,
let's
but
go ahead.
look how disrespectful Nigel Cardosa. Give us another 5 pounds. He says, Ukrainian dude saying Russia is bad. ... Not surprised. Hey!
But Nigel
Have
Cardosa,
respect.
freedom of speech is a myth. Yeah, maybe in Russia, dude. Freedom of speech is a myth in Russia. That's the thing. And people say like, oh, America's bad. Yeah, that's not, I mean, no country's perfect.
Yeah.
But when you're trying to throw stones from Russia.
Look, I don't. Yeah, no, not Russia. Even from India, dude. I had uncles from India here and being like, look at no culture. I'm like, yeah, go back. No. That's it. That's it. It's the most racist one, but it's so true, though. It's true. It's 100%. Nobody wants to go back. It's all just like an emotional, like the motherland is the motherland and this, that. I get it. It makes you feel good. Whatever. You came here.
People are saying that was a good call-in, by the way. It was a good call-in. And yes,
was great.
Amish, you're right. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I'm fine criticizing America, but we got to remember the alternatives, right?
Yeah.
The alternative is getting beaten into your confession.
Yeah.
There's a lot of terrible stuff that happens in America, but
I mean, look, it still needs to be criticized. You still talk about it, but yeah, I don't like how people here, they don't have any sense of like
no, there's
scale.
no sense of what could be. There's no sense of what else there is out there. It's the most frustrating thing about Americans is that like so often there's a disconnect from America and thinking because that's all you know. Then all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, I guess this is just like the worst ever. This is the worst it's ever been. It's like, no, this is the best anything's ever been. And you're still finding things to complain about.
It's good. I mean, some people are screwed. Be specific, maybe. You know, I just hate when people are like, freedom of speech is gone in America. It's like, guy, it's the best in America.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Dude, ironically, the more a country's complained about, maybe the more they have free speech. Because in Russia, you're afraid to criticize Russia. Ask Tom Nash how he feels about Russia.
Yeah, Tom Nash. We got to get all the Russia out before we bring Tom Nash on.
Yeah, no, Tom Nash. Tom Nash comes on. We're like, Tom, what do you think of Putin? He like looks slightly off camera. He's like, Putin, good, strong man. It's like, yeah, he can't say anything.
He goes, guys. I love Putin. No. Yeah, that's it. No Putin talk. No Putin talk, dude.
No Putin
Packs
talk.
$5. I apologize if this sours the mood, but I wonder what Nigel C's favorite boot polish flavor is. Oh! Also, have respect. I'm a scammer. Gonna rip you off, take you down.